Growing your business is the best way to get freedom, do something that matters, and make real money. But it's tough. It's a daily battle. So I want to share with you 7 simple ideas that help me stay on track every day. This isn't a big success story. It's just how I stayed in the game. I'm not here to sell your dream, but I've built companies, raised money, led teams, been betrayed, hit walls, and I'm still going. These 7 ideas helped me stay steady through tough times and start again when things fell apart. They didn't give me some perfect Instagram life, but they helped me build a business and a life that feel right and that feel like me. If you have a business and want to grow it without losing your focus on your mind, or if you're just tired of the grind with no real purpose, these 7 ideas might help you reset and grow stronger. The other day I was watching the boxing fight, Naoya Inoue against Ramon Cardenas, and Inoue got cuffed by a left hook, round 2, and just fell down. The end? No. He just stands up, fight back, and won the fight. Entrepreneurship is a fight. Entrepreneurship is a game. And that's the first idea. The only way to lose in entrepreneurship is to quit. If you keep playing, the game keeps offering you new chances. And so that's the goal. The goal is not big success. The goal is to keep playing. You know, in my career, there were darker seasons. We were out of cash. Clients were not paying and ghosted us. We got pressure from everywhere, banks, suppliers. It was hard, but still, I had health. I had still willpower. And that's what kept me in. If you have a bit of cash flow or cash in the bank, I can help as well. Anyways, with health, willpower, we just fought. We cut costs, we refocused, we kept swinging. And eventually, we closed a huge deal. And we were back on track because we kept playing the game. And that only happened because I was still in the game when the door opened. In entrepreneurship, you will have brutal days. You will get hit. You will want to quit. But as long as you've got your health, some cash flow, and the will to keep going, you're still in the fight. So keep fighting. But here's the hard part. What do you do when the weight of it all feels unbearable? When you're still in the game, but the game is crushing you. That's when a samurai's words change everything for me. Matters of great concern should be treated lightly. Matters of small concern should be treated seriously. It's by Yamamoto Tsunetomo from the Agakure, Japanese accent. Paradoxical, right? Business is the perfect example of this paradox. It's the highest stakes game most of us will ever play. Freedom, wealth, subsistence, legacy, fierce competition. And yet, it's still a game. That means the only way to move inside it is to carry a light mind through heavy situations and serious hands through the tiniest ones. When I read the story of Thor Björgolfsson, a billionaire from Iceland who lost everything and became billionaire again, it really hits me. The game doesn't end unless you let it. That's the first principle. The guy stayed light, he did what needed to be done, and he played the long game. And that's how you win when everything collapses. Years ago, I had a shareholder who had invested over 1 million in the company, and the guy tried to screw us. Not just business tension, real sabotage. And when we discovered that, I remember feeling nothing. No panic, no drama, just clarity and one serious focus. I'm gonna kick this out of the company. Legally, properly, and for €1. It took me 4 years. But I did it. It was hard. But I did it because I didn't act heavy. I acted sharp. And I had a good lawyer. So Matthias, if you watch this video, big up to you. The other side of this mindset is just as important. You must treat small things seriously. The daily boring inputs, the tiny systems, the micro decisions. Be serious about that. Most people skip this. But this is what compounds. Warren Buffett said it best. If it's worth doing, it's worth doing well. The devil is in the details. And the details decide whether you scale or style. So here's the paradox to hold. Treat the biggest threats lightly so you can stay fast, smart, and in motion. And treat the smallest details seriously so your system doesn't crack. But here is the thing. Even with the right mindset, most entrepreneurs plateau because they're not upgrading the right attribute. Actually, I plateaued because of that. And if you don't level up those inner skills, the game will start playing you. Business is like a role-playing game. You're the character. And every level you unlock forces you to allocate points to 4 attributes. I call that the upgrade loop. You can split these attributes in 2 groups. Internal, focus and discipline. External, leverage and risk. The internal attributes governs how well you use the external attributes. At level 1, you're doing everything manually, grinding, chasing opportunities. But as you level up, your focus has to tighten. Your discipline must lock in. Your leverage expands. Money, people, tools. Your risk exposure grows because your moves affect more. But most entrepreneurs never truly level up. Why? Because the game doesn't promote you until you've mastered the internal side. Focus and discipline are the keys. So let's start with the first one, obsessive focus. In business, the moment you lose focus, you start building someone else's vision. Focus is choosing what matters. Discipline is choosing it again every day. There are two kinds of focus. Strategic focus is your big obsessional, non-negotiable goal. Tactical focus is your ability to say no 1,000 times a day so you can keep making real progress. And that's hard, but you can't have one without the other. At one point, I got obsessed with understanding the world. Geopolitics, macroeconomics, ideology, power structures, history. I thought it made me smarter. And it did in a way. But I was pouring energy into things I couldn't control. In my business, it slowed down. My execution dropped. My results stalled. I felt smart, but I was stuck. The moment I stopped obsessing about the world and started obsessing about my own world, everything changed. I reallocated all my focus to my business, my freedom, my execution, and I started making progress again. But strategic clarity isn't enough. You need tactical discipline. Doing the boring stuff, ignoring the dopamine traps, taking the shots when you don't feel like it. And here's the thing, at higher levels, you'll be tested with bigger, shinier, more legitimate looking distractions. The discipline is this. Don't upgrade your distractions, upgrade your commitment, and you will experience freedom. Discipline equals freedom, like Joko Willink says it. And every entrepreneur who wins knows this. The higher level, the more brutal your focus needs to be. Because real progress means saying no to better things, so you can say yes to the only thing that matters. But here's the part most people resist. The more focused and disciplined you become, the more you realize complexity is the enemy. You can't scale chaos. And that's where we are headed next. I've stalled more than once in my business journey. Each time the root cause wasn't lack of vision, it was too much complexity. You must be obsessed with simplicity because complexity slows you down, drains your energy, and eventually breaks everything. I first understood the real danger of complexity, not in business, but in history. There is this book by Joseph Tainter on how civilizations collapse. Very interesting book. The core idea is that civilizations grow by layering complexity with more rules, more systems, more infrastructure, but at some points, complexity stops paying off. It becomes fragile, expensive to maintain. So when a small shock hits like a pandemic, the whole thing collapses. And the amazing thing is that civilization at a lower level of complexity can be exposed to the same shock without collapsing. That insight stuck with me because I come from a world of deep complexity. I spent years in microtech, biotech, lab automation, B2B SaaS, selling in 37 countries, managing boards, raising VC money, complex stuff. Eventually, I realized I wanted more freedom. I want more control. I want more simplicity. That's why I pivoted to online business, to reduce complexity. And funny thing is that one of my first customers, Tugan Bara, articulates simplicity in a beautiful way, and I want to share that with you. He used a framework he calls the 4L principle. Low cost, low tech, low human, low complexity. And I love that. And I apply the 4L religiously. But that's hard because complexity is always lurking around the corner. Let me give you an example. I told you, I switched to online business for simplicity. No supply chain, no team, just sales and servicing customers. But then I discovered funnels, like Russell Brunson style. Hey, funnels are pretty complex. Landing page, email sequence, sales page, order bumps, upsells, downsells, everything has to be built, tracked, tested. That breaks the 4L principle. So I moved to a different model. Online communities built on school, one platform focusing on simplicity. You got one about page, payment is integrated, they do emails for you in the background. You can focus on making your main stuff community good, like focus once again. That's more simplicity. And I love so much simplicity that my online community is about simplicity too. It helps entrepreneurs do great marketing frameworks using AI assistance without the overwhelm. But wait, I know what you're thinking. AI sounds like complexity, right? Not the way I do it, but I know everywhere you look, you see the AI hype, flashy AI automation flows, API chain tools like N8N with massive flowcharts. That looks complex. And it is. And you shouldn't go that direction because this stuff is expensive to build, hard to run, fragile to maintain. That's not leverage, that's complexity liabilities. My approach in AI is driven by simplicity once again. Use specialized GPTs, AI assistant trained on the right frameworks, run them on mainstream platform, ChatGPT, Claude, Gemini, Grok, keep a human in the loop. That's it. Simple, cheap, fast, effective. Simplicity really is the best way. But simplicity doesn't mean doing less. Done right, it means doing far more with far less. This is what leverage is all about. And let's cover that now. Leverage is doing more with the same effort. Not doing less, just making every move count 10 times. In business, the more you level up, the more leverage you gain access to. And the more focused and disciplined you are, the better you can actually use it. Naval Ravikant talks about leverage as money, people, code, and media. I kind of see that for myself as 5 real-world categories. Other people's money, other people's skills and knowledge, other people's network, tech, especially AI, and media distribution. These are the forces you can play with to grow, but be careful the ones you pick. Let's take, for example, VC money. Powerful, right? But complex. Or let's consider hiring. Useful for sure, but can be risky and draining. I chose simpler leverage. See? Simplicity principle here. Like I told you before, I chose tech with AI assistants, custom GPTs, a bit of no-code automation, and also community as my business model. Let me take 30 seconds to elaborate on that. Instead of hiring experts or chasing complex automations, I use custom GPTs trained on real frameworks to do real work. That's leverage. Why? Because you don't need to spend years mastering sales frameworks. You let AI assistants train on them, do them for you. And you stay in control, and they do the heavy lifting. And my business is a paid community, and it's pure leverage. Why? Because members share ideas, knowledge, systems, experience. Some of them can become my partners. Others can distribute the community through simple school affiliation system. It's one ecosystem, multiple leverages. But here's the key. You can only activate leverage if you're focused. And you can only get the most from leverage if you stay simple. This is why focus, simplicity, and leverage are not separate. They feed each other. Everything is connected. Like Hegel wrote, each single thing is, in its being, a connectedness with everything else. So deep. Hegel, you are the guy. And that brings us to the most powerful leverage available right now, AI. But only if you use it right. First, let me be clear. AI is not about saving time. I know, shocking. But AI is about compressing complexity. It's about producing more with the same inputs. You know, I've coached hundreds of AI automation agency owners since 2023. They all make the same mistake. They say things like, we will automate tasks you don't want to do, or we will save you time. Problem with this? Most people don't really value their time. Most people don't want to spend money on things they don't value. So the AI saving time pitch is irrelevant. Tip here. If you want to sell AI, show that AI is leverage. More outputs for your efforts. Because what people really value are more results, faster, easier, guaranteed. And that's what AI is for. Not cutting time, but compressing complexity. Not automating what you don't like or understand, but systematizing what already works at scale. Let me give you an example. Here is how I use AI personally in my CCGG online community. We take proven frameworks, we embed them inside custom GPTs, so you don't need to study the framework, you just use the AI assistant to execute it for you. We compress complexity and execution with AI, and you remain the supervisor. But I know the hype is full automation, spaghetti workflows, self-resolving chains, AI agents, etc. But the reality is, generative AI, large language models, are probabilistic beasts. If your task involves nuance, complexity, or judgment, it won't work, and you will waste energy debugging something that shouldn't have been automated to begin with. That's not leverage. My rule is simple. Automate only what's mechanical. Move data from A to B. Simple format conversion. But don't automate decisions. Don't automate strategy. That's your job. If you use AI and automation this way, you will get the biggest leverage of our time. And by the way, it's not just about AI. I told you the real game is internal. Focus, discipline, simplicity, leverage. And AI used right is just how we make those principles work harder for us. Once again, I'm not here to impress you. I just want you to win on your own terms. So, if you're building something real, something that fits your value, here are the 7 principles that keep me on track. Stay in the game. Success only matters if you're still in it. Take heavy things lightly. Pressure kills clarity. Treat small things seriously. They are what compound. Level up your focus and discipline. They control everything else. Keep it simple. Complexity breaks, simplicity scales. Use real leverage. People, systems, community, AI. But keep it simple. Compress complexity with AI. Not replace you, but to multiply you. AI is the biggest leverage of our time. These 7 ideas might help you reset and grow stronger. And when you use them together, focus, discipline, simplicity, leverage, and all the rest, they don't just add up. They multiply each other. Like it's leverage on steroid. Simplicity protects your focus. Discipline brings leverage to life. And leverage used right reinforces freedom. It's one system, one mindset, one way to stay in the game and keep building what matters.